Anthony Davis's career has been filled with the promise of a player who could just about do it all, from posting up to shooting from distance to protecting the rim and even handling the ball. And as the Pelicans march toward a possible playoff run, it's become entirely possible that he's put himself legitimately into the MVP discussion. AD is especially good at the high post, where he's only a dribble or two away from the hoop and the threat of his jump shot is enough to get any defender out of position. His quickness and explosion can leave you gasping for air as he rises up with his elbows above the rim. Same goes for the low post, where he can either blow by you with his back to the basket, or he can use his guard-like skills to shake and bake for a fadeaway jump shot. And Davis as a roll man is another hard cover for the defense, as he can finish over the rim as well as anybody in the league, or use those guard skills to create his own shot after the pick and pop created an advantage. He's also among the league leaders every year in block shots. As one of the longest and most mobile bigs around, he can swoop in and knock away shots at the rim. And his numbers since DeMarcus Cousins went down for the season have been nothing short of spectacular. But despite this explosion, and leading his team to a 13-9 record since then, not even his own coach is willing to put Davis into the MVP discussion.
That's a great team down there. They're a great team with a great player. To me, he's the MVP of the league.
Certainly part of being an MVP is commanding the respect of the referees. Guys like James Harden, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant routinely get the benefit of the doubt on many calls. So perhaps this is what separates AD from those guys. Gentry also had a pretty wild claim during his rant to the media.
AD never gets a call. He never gets a call. We talk about them holding him. We talk about them grabbing him on rolls. We talk about him coming under him on post-up. He never gets a call. Not one. And you know why? Because he doesn't bitch and complain about it.
But is that true? Do the referees not call fouls for a star? According to ESPN, Davis is actually the leading active player in fouls per game, above even James Harden. And those fouls earn him about 8 free throws a game. So I think it's safe to say that Gentry's argument simply doesn't hold water. So let's look at the footage from the game in question to see what Gentry was so angry about. We went through every play Davis was involved in, and these were the ones we picked that seemed to have something the Pelicans could yell about. On this roll, you can see Harden has wrapped him up with his arms, but since Davis doesn't go for the rebound, the refs are willing to overlook it. Playing against PJ Tucker, the refs are going to have to overlook some grinding since it happens almost every second with him. This low post collision is overlooked, but eventually Davis is able to face up on Tucker, fake to the middle, then get to the baseline where the referees catch Tucker holding AD's knee down, earning free throws for the unibrow. With this pressure defense by Tucker in the post, you have to ask yourself a question. Will LeBron get a call on this? How about Durant? Instead, he's left to get beat up down low and still hits a little jump hook. The Rockets swarmed him whenever they got a chance, and on this back down of CP3, you can see that AD initiated the contact with his backside and loses the ball as he's trying to gather it before any contact is made, but it got Gentry off the bench hot. Another one to file in the what if it was LeBron file, as Mbah a Moute rakes him across the right arm as Davis gathers, and he still hits the shot. This whistle became an offensive foul, and I get it. AD has hooked Tucker's arm inside his forearm and elbow, but do you really think Harden is going to get called for something like this? And while this collision in air might always be a foul no matter what, you wonder if the other stars get the benefit of the doubt. And how about this Harden manhandling of AD right down to the ground and no call? Of course, Gentry was already upset because Harden was getting calls like this. While one of the defender's arms is in at his chest, the other one is in Harden's airspace, allowing him to scoop his arms up underneath and get whacked on the three. A perfectly legit call, but Gentry ends up earning a technical after complaining pretty vociferously to the refs. So in the end, is Anthony Davis really as valuable to his team as others insist he is? Again, I can't argue with his insane production, His box score stuff is really elite. However, check his net rating since DeMarcus Cousins went down and his numbers went up. Is this the kind of impact an MVP has on his team? Compare it to Harden's impact on the Rockets. You would have to think that an MVP would have a significant impact on the score while he's on the floor. And yet these numbers would seem to indicate there's something empty about his production. Let's keep our eyes on him and how the Pelicans end the season. And perhaps together we can all figure out whether AD is a perennial MVP candidate or just an ultra-talented guy who just fills up the box score. Sports fans, for even more great analysis, make sure to hit the subscribe button, but even more important, adjust your settings so you can get notified the second we drop a video and you'll get it hot and fresh. You win?